Let me show you. So this has been my temporary power system through the build. Pretty basic, just a 4,000 watt pure sine wave inverter, 230 amp hour LiFePO 4 battery, and my 3 15 amp circuits for the house are plugged in basically like extension cords. It's worked fine through the build for the last couple months, and it might work fine for some people's off-grid build. For me, I wanted something a little bit more permanent. So if we look over here in my newly renovated shed, you'll see some big boxes full of some big things. Let's get them out and take a look. Like all sponsorships on Destination Adventure, this company sent me this system, but they are not paying me for this video, so the opinion you get today is going to be nothing but my own honest opinion. As well, I am not using this in the way that it's really meant to be used. This is a home power backup system, so it's a clean, reliable way basically to replace a generator. I'm using it as a complete home power system, which comes with some complications, which we will address shortly. A box in a box. Interesting. Okay. When I seen the size of these boxes, I was a little bit worried about the size that the batteries were going to be. They're much smaller than the box. Just as heavy though. I have thoroughly exhausted the literature on this system, so I have a really good understanding of the product and the operation. The install, on the other hand, is a big question. There is no how-to for wiring this as an independent system without a tie to the grid. Number 2. So all 3 of these should just lock together in a nice neat power stack. Oh yeah, still pretty heavy. What we have here is 3 Bluetti B300K batteries, and this is what makes the system so exciting. This is your charger, your solar charge controller, and your inverter all in one plug-and-play system. It's important to mention this is also not a standalone device. There is no battery in here, so you need to hook it up to at least one battery to utilize it. Let's get our rudimentary battery system out and see how this fits in there. Uh-oh, what is that stuck on? Oh, expansion foam. Interesting. Whoops-a-daisy. Oh, with the old... I like how this actually clipped together. Look at that. That is a nice looking system. Look at the cables that came with this thing. That's a serious friggin' cable right there. Okay, there's that one. Well, let's start with just one. Seems to not fit that. Everything is plugged in and appears to be working correctly. Mild learning curve figuring out how and where these things plug in, but all in all, very easy installation. If you're pairing more than one battery, you do need this specific heavy-duty cable. The batteries themselves come with this smaller one. Oddly enough, Bluetti sent me 3 of these, and I only used 2 of them. There's a whole bunch of videos already available that cover in depth this unit, its functions, features, and how to use it. So today we're going to be really focusing on how this is applicable in my off-grid build as a primary power system as opposed to a home backup system. So let's get into some figures. The AC500 boasts a very impressive 5,000 watt pure sine wave inverter with a peak surge of 10,000 watts. I have a total of 8,294.4 usable watt hours. That being said, this head unit can be expanded up to 6 of these batteries, giving you a grand total of 16,588 usable watt hours. But of course, a battery bank is not worth anything without a way to charge it. You can charge this up to 5,000 watts AC, 3,000 watts solar. You can charge through a generator or through an electric vehicle port. And you can actually charge a combination of ways up to 8,000 watts. The batteries themselves have a lifespan up to 3,500 cycles. To put that into perspective, if you completely discharged and charged this unit every single day, it would retain 80% of its original capacity for almost 10 years. I'm going to be building this up onto a pedestal, so it'll be well above the floor. And then once we get to the water system install, This is going to have a waterproof base on it, so if ever there's a leak, that water can be funneled outside of the structure instead of ending up here and ruining the floor or the battery system. This is fully usable anywhere between -20 and +50 C. This room should never see temperatures that extreme, so shouldn't be an issue. You can control this through either the touchscreen or the app. It does have 12 volt and 24 volt DC output, 3 20 amp 120 volt receptacles, 2 30 amp. My first complaint with this unit comes right now with this outlet. What you're actually getting is 120 volts at 25 amps. If you want to utilize the full 240 volts,